We are very attuned in our culture and especially our professions to push beyond the limits of normal functioning, of our bodies telling us that we are tired or we are stressed. For anyone who is a high performer and has a lot of need pushed on them throughout the day, which I would consider attorneys, physicians, and even stay at home moms, believe it or not, have a lot of just constant and sometimes ever changing needs that are required of them. As a result, sometimes we feel like very overwhelmed and our stress responses can get the best of us. So even with normal disease processes, usually stress will make any of those worse. And so this can have an effect on your immune system. This can have an effect on your cardiovascular system. Sleep is often impacted. How we choose to cope with that stress, whether it's consuming substances or alcohol, if it is we tend to work harder and skip the gym, if we binge on alcohol or food, we're all looking to medicate that stress in some way. And honestly, it can affect every part of your health. And so sometimes you have to be able to sit still long enough to realize that the things that you're going through are actually affecting you. Because in the middle of it, sometimes you are just keeping going. That law of physics where an object in motion will stay in motion. If you can get to a scheduled way of taking care of you, then you don't have to hit that brick wall to be able to, take 3 months and have to, recoup your life. One thing I would say is to make sure that you have made time for you and that you find whatever it is that fills your soul. Whether that is reading or if it is, creative writing, if it's painting, if it's, rock climbing. These are some of mine. I love yoga. I love to run. What is it that is something that just brings you joy for the sake of joy? And I would make sure that you have that on your calendar, even if it's only just for a couple minutes each day. That makes a big difference because now you're feeding yourself. And as my husband loves to remind me, you cannot pour from an empty bucket. So you cannot give what you do not have. And so you have to fill yourself before you can pour into your clients or others. One other thing that I have recently started to institute is actually just deep breathing. If you will take a step back and take a big deep breath in for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for a second. And then breathe out for a count of 6. And it just brings that I'm going to be running from the tiger feeling down to that kind of rest, relaxation. There's the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And that sympathetic is the running from the tiger. And that parasympathetic is that, okay, I can actually get down to where my creativity is and my heart isn't racing and that anxiety feeling isn't coming up, that it just lets it just mellow out a little bit to be able to then resume running from the tiger. But even taking just those couple deep breaths is really helpful. And then I would just encourage people to have community, especially young attorneys and young physicians and anyone else that's in a very high needs profession. There is so many resources out there for you now. There's a whole culture of workplace wellness that is available to you, and even podcasts like this that you can you can reach out to. And I know, at least for me, when I was in residency, we didn't have a lot of this, first of all. But I also firmly believe that, I was like, I know everybody else says that they're tired and they're burned out. But you're like, you know what? I feel fine. I'm just doing the next thing. And then somebody has a case that gets added on, and we're like, oh yeah, no, I'll go. No, I don't, no, I didn't need to sleep today. It's fine. I'll go do it. And at some point, I never thought it would happen to me. And, fast forward again, a couple decades, and then there you are. And for some reason, I'm surprised, even though I am the physician that's trying to tell everybody else what to do that I'm not doing myself. And so it is inevitable that it happens if you don't take steps early and often. And the earlier the intervention and the smaller the steps, then you don't have to make these big, massive shifts back to center if you're constantly doing just small recorrections to take care of you.